Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. We just killed Staunton Vale, and we let the ladies whose name I can't remember go, but we are right on the end of the Siege of Dresden, I believe. So let's see what's through this door over here.
So exciting.
Is this just a balcony? It is. Okay, so we have to keep going the other way. I could do with resting, to be honest. Everyone is heavily corrupted, fatigued. We have taken damage on many sides. It's not going well. Actually don't know the correct way to go. I came from these stairs, I think, which means it would be over here, right? They've got loot. A masterwork comms longbow, masterwork falchion. This is the problem with taking a break halfway through a mission here. Well, I say halfway through a mission. I've taken about 5 breaks throughout the Siege of Dresden. But aha, here we go. Kind of forgot my general direction. Ooh, a carved urn, a handful of gems, and some gold coins.
This is my time.
Let's have some
Oh
fun.
dear. I could have done without the fight. Wait, where was that? There was another enemy in this turn order. You? Oh, there you are. Okay. Right, send in the dragon. That's the first rule of combat, right? I absolutely adore this little guy. It's so good. Yeah, you can't do anything, can you? Ooh, Reginald. Send in bismuth? Get him, bismuth. Reginald, here we go. Let's go for the way that doesn't give them an attack of opportunity. LS. Oh, I do have Winter's Grasp and stuff again. Oh, I have this. Song of Heroic Resolve. How long does this last for? Oh, is it just an active thing?
Away, you rascal.
Okay. It's not a quick action, so I can't do anything else. Somebody reminded me that Lay on Hands with Sealer is a quick action that she can use, which is something I really should do when she's this badly hurt. Huh? In fact, I'm just going to keep her out of combat, I think. Largely. She's quite badly hurt. She got absolutely beaten to hell in the fight against Staunton. There we go. Right. Pray tell am I doing in here? This room looks a little cleaner than the rest of the fortress. It's probably the warden's bedroom. Gold powder, gold coins, golden chains, clear quartz, animal hide, gold coins, and an apprentice lockpick. Kind of feel like I'm missing something. Guess I go back down to the Citadel's main floor. I'm not seeing any other entrances up here. And we've done the interaction with Staunton and stuff, so let's have a look. See if we can get back downstairs. What does my journal say, actually? Leave the Citadel. Indestructible Dresden falls again. The victors would like to believe that the second time will be the last, but even gods don't know for certain what awaits them. In any case, it's time to tell the fighters, those who survived this battle, that their suffering was not in vain. Victory is theirs. Nice. Yeah, we just need to leave. And hopefully this place will have a safe space
The
rest.
commander of the crusade has managed to overthrow 70 years of demonic rule in Dresden and restored the Sword of Valor to its rightful place. Will the commander be able to defend the banner she has won with such a valiant effort?
Yeah, we'll just nail it in place so an idiot can't take it out on patrol.
Urgent matters of state are awaiting my attention. My convoy will be departing for the capital within the hour. I'm afraid this is all the time I can spare you. So do please forgive me for skipping the lengthy and well-deserved congratulations.
Something has subtly changed in the way the Queen of Mendev looks at you. Respect shines in her eyes, but her slightly furrowed brow indicates a hint of unease. Why do I have an upgrading equipment tutorial? The Cloak of Blood Scent is better than the Cape of Mortar. I don't think that's true.
The capture of Dresden took much longer than I had anticipated. Our troops have suffered catastrophic losses.
Uh-oh.
You excel at dealing with demons on your own, but you have much to learn when it comes to commanding a military force. I shan't give you a dressing down for this failing. I entrusted you with this task, which means I bear equal responsibility for this outcome. I shall, however, give you some advice. Do not think of victory as an abstract goal, but as a gift you wish to give to your people. The more of your soldiers who survive to enjoy the triumph, the more joyous it will be.
Does this mean I made a choice that killed a lot more people than normal, or is this just always what happens? I will remember this. Thank you.
Very well. Don't despair. Every commander has their dark moments. We shall endure the heat and heavy blows and emerge like hardened steel. Now on to the main matter. The Sword of Valor has been returned to us. Touching it has awoken your power and changed the great relic beyond recognition. Many clerics are at a loss to interpret this unexpected turn. Is it an omen? Happenstance? A warning? Only one thing can be said for certain. Your power is astonishing and unlike anything ever seen before. Your power bears little resemblance to other manifestations of the Inheritor's will that I have been fortunate enough to witness. But who can fathom the god's designs? And Iomedae has many heavenly allies, and they helped us on several occasions throughout the Crusades. There, I have said all I wish to. Is there anything you wish to discuss with me before I depart?
Do we tell the Queen about Arlu Vorlesh? I think we do. It's something you should know. Arlu Vorlesh appeared before me in Dresden. She did not explain why she had come.
The architect of the world wound? Here? And she allowed you to simply dispose of Staunton Vane and claim the Sword of Valor? This is a very worrying development. Aurelia was more dangerous than a dozen Balors, and more cunning and deceitful than a score of succubi. In the 100 years of the Crusades, our forces have very rarely encountered her, but when we did, it always led to something terrifying. I think she has taken an interest in you and your power. It was to be expected, of course, and it worries me more than anything else. Sooner or later, we shall have to take a stand against Aurelu and deal with her once and for all. But I thought we would have time to prepare. Be careful. And if the architect reappears, treat her as you would a demon lord.
Run away? I think that means run away. Yeah. Do you know anything about the huge demon that we met at the gates? It was much stronger than the rest.
The Baylor Dorazand, one of Daskari's generals. He, Hep Zamira, and the Echo of Daskari are some of the most notable demons in the Abyssal Forces. You will soon learn these names. Dorazand has not been sighted by our scouts for a long time. and his appearance at Dresden was an unexpected development.
Let's find out more about these people, shall we? Baylor Darazand is a monster whose name Crusaders speak with a shiver. The powerful general of Discari's armies is bloodthirsty and fierce, even by demon standards. In the heat of the battle, he'll cut down his own soldiers if they stand between him and his target. Such casualties hardly worry him much. Darazand alone is worth a whole legion of demons and can slaughter an army of crusaders by himself. Alas, this is no figure of speech, but an actual historical event. What about Hepzamira? The Nephilim Hepzamira is Baphomet's daughter and current favourite. She commands a sizable force of her father's minions, both mortals and demons alike. And the Echo of Discari? I assume that is just Discari? Long before the world wound opened, the demon lord Discari knew of the weakness in the fabric of the material plane in Socorus. In a gambit lasting generations, the lord of the Locust host established multiple cults throughout northeast Avestan, culminating in the transformation of the mightiest of his priests into the Echo of Discari. An avatar who could bring Discari to Socorus and tear a hold in reality to the rasping rifts. Only the god Aroden's direct intervention foiled the scheme. Aroden drove the Echo of Discari and his armies into the Lake of Mists and Veils in 4433. Since then, the Echo has relentlessly hated humanity, and Aroden's followers in particular.
But we must grow accustomed to surprises such as this. The ability to move at will through space is one of the demon's most unpleasant hallmarks. Fortunately, the Sword of Valor takes care of that problem for the areas around Dresden.
Let's hope it still works the same. I've heard everything I need.
Very well. Then I shall take my leave. Irabeth will bring you up to speed on the situation in the city and surrounds, and together, you can decide on what next steps to take. Good luck, Commander. Remember, this is but the first step. The road ahead will be long and difficult.
With a nod of farewell, the Queen strides off with precise military bearing.
Allow me also to congratulate you on your victory, Commander. We won the battle for Dresden, but this war is far from over. The demons know our true strength, so we must brace ourselves for a merciless counterattack. They will do everything they can to gain control of the city and destroy you personally, and all of us along with you. The only good news is that cultists make up more than half of their forces, so they will have to march the same roads as our fighters. If they were all demons, they could appear here instantaneously and lay siege to the city. Praise Iomade for small mercies. The main demon forces are moving out from the City of Eyes and the Threshold Fortress. Scouts are reporting that for now, we don't stand a chance of tearing through the defense and launching a counterattack. We can only gather our forces, rebuff their attacks, and wait for the right moment. Unfortunately, other hostile groups keep appearing out of nowhere. And on top of all that, Minago is still prowling around somewhere out there. Anevia is trying to find out where that Abyss scum has run off to. Maybe she's already got some leads. Luckily, we are not alone. Mendev is with us. Queen Galfrey has sent us the first reinforcements. They've just entered the city. Besides, news of your victory is spreading through Avestan. I'm sure that crowds of new volunteers will soon be pouring into Dresden, inspired by your feat. And that's very good news, because we're going to need troops. Here is a brief report about the main problems we're currently facing.
Irabeth shows you a sheet of paper with a list of 4 items. Demons with special powers, secret path, ? Missing patrol, and dragon. What can you tell me about the demons with special powers?
Remember that Nabasu that attacked our camp? He had powers that no ordinary demon should have. It is not the only demon of its kind. We keep receiving reports about similar monsters. All isolated cases for now. But it's possible that in the future, we will see entire squads, if not armies of them. We must find out where they're coming from. Find the source of their power and destroy it. If we don't, they will crush us before long. Even you can't defeat an entire army of such monsters.
A secret path? What are you talking about?
We can usually spot armies of demons in advance, as their hordes march along the Grey Road from Eyes or Threshold. But sometimes packs of them appear out of nowhere. They're managing to avoid our scouts somehow and sneaking into our territory. If we don't solve this problem, we cannot attack. The demons will just appear at our backs, block off the gorges and cut us off from Dresden. Anevia is trying to find out how the demons are getting into our territory, but she hasn't succeeded yet. Talk to her. She will tell you more about what she's doing.
All of these seem to just be talk to Anevia. There's a missing patrol?
Yes, it disappeared without a trace during a mission. We didn't even find any bodies. Maybe someone abducted them, or there's some natural threat in the area. We can't rule out the possibility of desertion, either. The troop was patrolling the southern road out of the city. The last surviving settlements of Socorus lie in that direction. But after the siege of Dresden, contact with them was lost. Hardly any of the inhabitants survived once the demons invaded the area. That's where I started the search.
Intersun has been revealed. A dragon? What dragon?
As if we didn't have enough problems with demons already. Now there's a wild dragon in the vicinity. Luckily, it's not part of the demon army. If the demons had a dragon on their side, it could pose a serious threat.
We have a dragon. Look, he's tiny.
But there's very little food in the World Wound, and the dragon doesn't seem to have a taste for demons and cultists. She keeps attacking small squads of crusaders, picking off those who fall behind, ravaging supply trains.
Damn it. Could be useful if she was eating the damn demons.
The dragon's been sighted frequently in the sky, but we don't know exactly where her lair is. We have someone to help with this, though. Do you remember the dwarf who bravely attacked the Baylor in front of the citadel during the siege? He is back in the city, and he doesn't mind hunting this dragon, apparently. Go talk to him in the tavern. We might be able to help each other.
Amazing. Okay, is that all for now?
There is one more thing. As you know, there is a vast dungeon under Dresden.
I do.
It's empty now. None of those imprisoned by the demons survived, and we don't have any new prisoners. We've temporarily placed the body of Staunton Vane in the dungeon. You slew him. What are your orders regarding his body? Anevia thinks we should burn it quietly and forget about it. Some want to see his corpse displayed in the square, but I don't think we should behave like demons and barbarians. He may have been our enemy, but he deserved to be buried as a knight. However, the decision is yours, of course.
Is the Lich mythic path bring him back as an undead person? Because that would be unbelievably cruel. Oh god. That's like horrendous. He finally escaped the torment. Oh. So we can bury him, burn him. We're not going to display it. Let's bury him as a knight. I kind of feel sorry for him in a really weird way.
Right you are, Commander. Commander. That day during the battle,
Irabeth is hesitating. You can see the struggle on her face, as if she doesn't know whether she should say something else.
No. My apologies. That is all, Commander. Thank you for your time.
Giving a salute, Irabeth turns around and quickly leaves.
I don't understand these cities that mortals love so much. Stone, stone, and more stone. All the doors are so close to the ground and are all the same shape. Why don't they ever put the door on top floor and slide down to the ground instead? And why do they even want to go outside if it's no fun out there? If somebody built a fountain full of jam, say, I'd understand. Or a chocolate tree, so people could break off a branch to munch on as they pass by.
Hello? Who might you be? I've started hearing voices. That's not a good sign. No, who's speaking?
Me? Don't tell me you didn't notice a cute little dragon following you.
The dragon speaks? A tiny female dragon, an evident chocolate tree enthusiast, emerges from behind you. Well now, cute little dragon, if that's true, why did you only start speaking now?
Maybe I was a little shy. After all, we don't know each other. I had to take a look around and get used to things. Everything about the material plane is so weird and gray and stony, especially Dresden.
What's your name, dragon?
Ivo, because I'm little. In my family, our names get longer as we get bigger and older. Just imagine how funny it would be otherwise. Imagine having a 5-year-old dragon, barely hatched, but they already call you Resla Robran or Iltuliak or something like that.
The little dragon snorts, and you conclude that this is her way of laughing. So where did you come from?
What do you mean, where did I come from? I flew all the way here to you. Well, I moved between the planes a tiny little bit, and then I flew the rest of the way to you. You've always wanted to have a dragon of your very own, haven't you? Who wouldn't want their own dragon companion?
How did she know? How did she know I always wanted a dragon companion? Of course I want my very own dragon. If I ever meet someone who doesn't want to have a dragon of their very own, I'll make sure to keep my distance from them. They clearly have a few screws loose. I'm not sure I've ever thought about it before. I have no need of any dragons. Go back to where you came from. No, we're going to go with the second one here.
That's what I'm saying.
The little dragon nods knowingly. So you don't like Dresden much, then?
It's not that I don't like it. You can have fun here, too. But I like my home in Elysium more. That makes sense, though. After all, we're fighting the demons, and they make everything around them dull and nasty. But you're going to stop them soon, right? Oh, speaking of demons and fighting, you really need to head out this beautiful ridge outside Dresden as fast as you can. Your friends are waiting for you there. There's something urgent and important they need to tell you.
Commander's court has been revealed. What friends?
They're so nice. They were really happy to see me. They really want to see you. I only flew past them once, so I don't know much, but it must be important.
Interesting. I wonder what's waiting for me this time.
Something really fun. You'll see.
Amazing. My dragon speaks. Right, so I get the feeling this is going to be a very talk-heavy episode here. Oh my bloody god. House, prison, jewelry artisan, the inn. We need to go to the inn to speak to someone. The one-eyed devil, the blacksmith, exotic weapons provider. Oh, there's so many people I need to talk to. Jesus. Alright, okay. Apparently Ulbrig's up here, so can we speak to Ulbrig real quick? He's not up here. Is he up on the wall? Aha, there he is. The fact the dragon speaks is absolutely fantastic. Putting that out there. Hi, Ulbrig. Ow! Ulbrig looks lost as he stares at his hands, protracting and retracting his sharp claws. Everyone's dead. There's no one left. No one. I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm sorry, Ulbrig. Ulbrig nods wordlessly and lets out a long sigh. Well, tears won't win us this war. How can I help, War Chief? Ask you something? Okay. Oh, that's right. I had a question of my own to ask you. Explain to me, plain and simple, back when we first met, What was that all about? How did I end up in that fortress with all the books? Why did I wake up right when you came? This is horse feathers. The real horse feathers here is how many questions you're able to ask without pausing for breath or letting me get a word in edgeways. I know as much about it as you do. That griffin statue had stood in the library for decades. We could lie. Happens to me all the time. I can't take one step without griffins soaring all over the place. Well, let's go with that griffin had stood there for decades. Does this mean I was napping inside the statue? And what woke me up was probably the grasshopper god smashing the city with his scythe? I'm a heavy sleeper, but no one could have slept through a whopper like that. No, it still doesn't make a lick of sense. Right. So what was it you wanted to ask about? Tell me about your homeland. I'll tell you this. Socorus isn't a country. Socorus is a whole world. Just imagine a lynx standing at the edge of snowy woods in the north. Perch splashing in the Selen in the east. Furry bumblebees buzzing over the blooming hills of the south. And everywhere you look, there are people the likes of which you won't find anywhere in the world. They are the bravest in battle and the fleetest in dance. Hundreds of tribes, each with its own legends, songs, heroes, gods and spirits. Now, you tell me, could a land like that really have perished because of a few grasshoppers? I won't believe it. Ever. Alright, now it's your turn. Where do you hail from? Who's your tribe? My family is far away. I don't know if I'll see them again. I'm a crusader. I don't have a tribe. I have a cause. Our humble party is my only tribe, and it's all the tribe I need. I have no tribe. I'm on my own. I don't remember my past too well, who I am or where I'm from. The memories are all hazy. Go with that one. That's tough. That's like having a whole chunk of your soul just torn out. I hope it all comes back to you. Try putting a spruce cone under your pillow. They say that's very good for your memory. Huh. That sounds uncomfortable. You're from the Olesk clan, right? Tell me about it. That clan is one of the oldest. Our history goes back to a time before Socorus was settled, when our ancestors lived in the mountains in the far north. Once their mountain home had become too small for them, they went down to the untrodden hills and forests of the south, drove out the monsters and the giants and founded Socorus. Even back then, the Olesks were the first into every battle and the first to build a settlement on their land. People wrote so many songs about our deeds that if I were to start singing them all to you now, we'd be stuck here for a good month. Who routed the Orcish invaders? Who seduced a Fey queen and stole her tiara? Whose apples are the size of a hair, and whose cider made from those apples can knock a bear out? That's right, it's all us, the Olesks. Huh. If giants lived there before your ancestors came, you can't really call those lands untrodden, can you? Oh, you're a laugh. You're saying giants are people? Have you seen one with your own eyes? They can't even speak our tongue. They just growl and fart. They may look like humans, but they're dumber than frogs. All they know is eating and fighting. They'll feast on human flesh, I'll have you know. So don't feel bad for those freaks. Our ancestors were right to cut them down. Wow. What was your role in your tribe? I was the chieftain, and not by right of blood like in some tribes. It takes more than being born in the right family to lead the Olesks. You have to earn that right from our divine patron. Aravar, the heavenly griffin, chose me. Ulbrig chuckles mirthlessly. Except as you can see, it didn't do my clan much good. The chieftain's duty is to be with their people, in peace and in war, in life and in death. And what did I do? Abandon them. There's no two ways about it. I missed everything. I slept through everything. Tell me about your patron griffin. Aravar, the griffin whose beak has marked the sun and those talons have raked the moon. Ulbrig crosses his arms in a ritual gesture. He is the ancient protector of our clan. From each generation he chooses one who is worthy of wielding his power and leading his tribe. But ever since I woke up here, he hasn't spoke to me once. No prophetic dreams, no answers, no signs. His power is still with me, so he must be alive. And why is he silent? He shakes his red mane helplessly. I give you answers. I'm always up for a chat, especially when there's still beer to be drunk. What do you think of your new powers? I don't like them. Can't deny they're useful, but this is the way of things I'm accustomed to. Every power must have a name. The powers the druids and shifters have are fair. Gods and spirits grant them to us, and only for good reason. First you have to earn your power, prove you're worthy of it, show you're grateful for it. Then you can start using it. But this, who gave it to us? For what purpose? What do we have to give in return? It's one mystery after another. I'll up and tell you what I think. This power feels a lot like ensorcery. I don't think I've ever seen that word in my life. In our lands, people could get sent to Threshold for toying with powers like these, for everyone's safety. I have to go, thanks Ulbrig. Soft grass underfoot for you. Okay, that's one person down, 500 to go. Let's go speak to Camellia. We did a good job of rebuilding this place, didn't we? Almost like it was never attacked by demons. Greetings. The neat smile on Camellia's lips disappears so quickly you almost wonder if you imagined it. Your speech tells me you are of noble birth. Camellia laughs her practiced, musical laugh as she watches you from under lowered lashes. You're most insightful. A fine quality to have. Camellia's laughter ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence. Still, I believe that being of noble birth does not give anyone the right to look down on others. Forgive me if my questions disturb you. I couldn't resist such a noble and beautiful lady. I will stop bothering you immediately if talking to me upsets you. There's nothing wrong with being a noble. People are not born equal. I suppose we all have our good and bad qualities. I'm going to go with that one. I would have pegged you as a philosopher. So you're Horgus's daughter. You've discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the Gwyrm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendev society disapproves of some of his decisions. Would it be so insolent of me to beg for your discretion regarding what you know about us? I found a number of interesting implements and accessories in the Gwyrm mansion. How kind of you to share that you've gone through the Gwyrm's dirty laundry and drawn some bizarre conclusions. If you value my company, please refrain from making such insinuations in the future. What do you think of the powers you received from me? Camellia shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. The powers I received from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them with excessive piety. Well, that was quick. I won't keep you. The dawning smile on Camellia's face freezes and quickly dies away. You are just... Oh! I can speak to Daeran? I could go in this house. Is it worth me going in all these houses? Hang on, while I'm here. Hello? Apparently I'm not allowed. There's a force field around the outside of this house. What the hell? What? Yeah, okay, we're not allowed in that house. There's a force field. How very strange. Daeran? Looking around the place, the Count seems quiet and dejected. Ah, there less. Hello there. I'm feeling uncharacteristically pensive right now. Or rather, I'm finding it rather difficult to put my thoughts into words today. I'm trying to understand something. We've been travelling together for a while now. What's your opinion of me? You're an arrogant, egotistical brat, but it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. Good. I sincerely believe that you can change and become a better person. You don't let anyone get close. There might be a good reason for that, but you can always count on me if you ever need any kind of support. Evil, your useful tool to me. Anything beside that is no concern of mine. I know the truth about you. I know what really happened at Heaven's Edge 10 years ago. Now, let's just go with good. You can become a better person, Daeran. Ugh, did you really have to spoil the moment with such a trite reproof? Fine. Do you know why I asked you that? Because the answer to the question, what do you think about me, usually reveals more about the one doing the answering than the one doing the asking. Now that I've got you thinking, let's proceed to the usual small talk. Do you want to talk about your past? I've been thinking a lot about what happened since our visit to Heaven's Edge. Do you want me to write a detailed report? You are the commander of the crusade, not my personal biographer. Why do you need this boring trivia? Alright. Sorry, Daeran. I think that was my chance to be like, I know what you did. And I don't particularly want to be rended from this plane, so I suppose I decided not to. I'm gonna see what the arcane weavers and stuff are. Just for the sake of... I'm guessing you're just... Yeah, a sail person here. Now, is that ring that I was told about here? Doesn't look like it. I can, however. 13,000 gold. Jesus Christ. And I'm still massively overloaded. Mostly because... I'm just going to sell those, screw it. Because it's just me, and it isn't spread across loads of people. I do need to seriously go through all of my stuff and kind of sort it out. What is an arcane weaver? Celestial protection. +5 resistance bonus to saving throws against demons. Jesus, Robe of Order. Oh my god, there's so much good stuff here. Living Flame. Whenever the wearer of this cloak channels energy to harm undead for the next 2 rounds, they become surrounded with a fire shield. Good lord. Source of Dividing Power. Whenever the wearer of this robe uses a divine power to summon a creature, they can choose to give these creatures attacks either holy or unholy special ability. Interesting. Okay, well that was easy enough. They were just shops. Exotic weapons provider? I guess I should have a look. I feel like I haven't been doing a very good job of keeping track of what is what in these places. What do you sell? Okay. Axiomatic Ghost Touch Nunchakus +3. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Karma +3, Dueling Sword +3, Mighty Blow of Good. Oh my god. What about Will Grant? Have you got a new conversation? The bearded quartermaster gives you a friendly nod. What can I do for you? Are you going to manage the fortress now? No way, Commander. The quartermaster throws up his hands. Not in a million years. I can manage an expedition just fine, but running a fortress is a different kettle of fish. That's enough work to make a man's head explode. Which is why they sent us an expert from Nero Siran. Her name is Dorgelinda. That's not how you say that name, is it? Dorgelinda? Dorgelinda Stranglehold. That's an unfortunate name. I've seen how she handles things. She knows what she's about. That one. Imode, bless her. She'll be managing the fortress, and I'll keep taking care of the soldiers, just like I have been doing. Alright, well, that was that conversation done. What are you? Blacksmith? Yeah, no conversation, just buying stuff. Okay. We talked to that, so now we go out into the outer ring. I guess we can start there and work our way around. I love the fact that Bismuth has a marker. That's so good. Okay, here we are at the temple. Who do we talk to here? We have Arisno. I guess I'll talk to you. Are you the scroll vendor? A woman in gold-embroidered cleric robes greets you with a polite bow. Her eyes, the colour of molten gold, gleam brightly in her dusky face. Greetings, Commander. My name is Arisno. I am a messenger from the Temple of Abadar and Absalom. and I came here assuming the defenders of the fortress could use the services of a cleric. Oh, let's ask her about the wound on my chest. Perhaps you've heard about the wound that sometimes opens in my chest. Are you familiar with this kind of ailment? Arisno quickly probes you with the skill of an experienced healer. So the wound was right here, and then it disappeared and reappeared. Amazing. No, this is the first time I've heard of such magic. What do you think it might be? I think it's some kind of demonic corruption, or particles of chaos from the abyss have emerged through the wound into your body and made it so unstable. It sounds quite interesting. Incidentally, judging from the records of researchers of the abyss, stranger things have happened in this cursed place. Now, can you give me some advice on how to heal it? I am sure that you've already used the purification and chaos warding spells, and for obvious reasons you do not have the option of leaving the campaign and going on a long pilgrimage to various shrines. Since that's the case, keep a diary. Make careful and systematic entries about your well-being. If it gets worse, record the circumstances under which it happens. I'm afraid this is the only advice I can offer right now. Okay, thank you, it makes sense to me. I could ask her to heal me, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. What services do you provide? I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. Even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them, I'll be happy to read them for you right here. However, take care out there on your travels. A scroll is useless without someone who can read it. You use a scroll while you're on the move, you'll need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, or someone skilled in magical devices. Tell me more about Abadar. I'd be delighted to. Abadar is the patron deity of law, trade, and the prosperity of cities. He teaches the law and order allow civilization to develop and keep people safe and wealthy. Imade and Abadar are allies, since Imade also holds order and nobility above all else. It's hardly surprising to see so many mighty fortresses and wonderful cities in Mendev bloom under her blessing. How did you end up in Dresden? My story has grown longer and longer over the years, yet sadly it never gets any more interesting. I was born and raised in Absalom. Soon I realized that bringing the word of Abadar to places where it's already been heard was too easy a challenge for a cleric like me. I have travelled all across Galarian since then, watching civilization bring enlightenment to the wildest of places. This brings joy to my heart and makes me feel like I serve my God with my deeds and not only with my words. The tiny barony in the stolen lands that has been my home for a very long time eventually turned into a strong and prosperous kingdom, and I felt that I had to go somewhere else to bring the blessing of Abadar to someone who really needed it. It will take quite a long time for Dresden to recover and become an unfailing stronghold once again. I'll do my very best to help. You're an Aasimar, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, I am an Aasimar. Hard to miss, isn't it? I look exactly like my great-great-grandmother, but I am the only one among my kin to have Aasimar blood manifest so visibly in my appearance. I have to admit that it is a very fortunate coincidence. My Aasimar features are rather appealing and make people trust me more easily. This is a good quality to have for a priestess wishing to gather a congregation. I see that you have consecrated an altar of Abadar. So I have. And before you ask me why I did this when there is a temple of Imade in Dresden, I will answer. Even though my god is the ally of the inheritor, some still prefer to pray and trust in Abadar instead of her. After all, my humble altar is no worse at removing the corruption of the abyss than the grandiose altar in the temple of Imade. Oh, thank you. Can I go in there? Doesn't look like there's anything special in here. This place has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from corruption of the abyss. The sheer fact that we managed to rebuild Dresden in like a day is it's pretty impressive. Like, you'd never know there was a demon incursion here. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything here. I don't particularly want to waste too much time walking around the temple. I like to get as many conversations in as I can in this episode, so I don't have to spend the next episode doing nothing but conversations. I like the music in the temple. It was very nice. Right, who's next on the list of people to talk to? I guess Seela! And I realised I may have had some sort of misremembrance of who Solemn Hour actually belongs to. Is it Irabeth? I thought it belonged to Seela, but if it belongs to Irabeth, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Oh my god. Seela looks sad and pensive. Am I going to have to listen to you two stabbing that person for this entire conversation? Fantastic. It's good to see you. Get this. Janna, the one who ran away when we were attacked by demons, never went back to her unit. She was seen running towards Numeria. Looks like she deserted. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. Or... really? Or not the only thing. Since our raid on the Houndheart's camp, I've had this sinking feeling that I made a mistake. Dragging you into this, I mean. I should have known that a raid along the edge of the world wound wouldn't be so easy. But mostly, I was wrong about a lot of people. About Janna, who lost her nerve and abandoned her friends. About Curl. I knew he was a thief, but I really thought he'd turned over a new leaf and deserved a little compassion and trust. And Elan. I thought we were kindred spirits, friends, through thick and thin. But it looks like I was wrong about him too. Seela looks at you closely, waiting for an answer. Okay, so we have good. Don't lose your trust in people, Seela. So what if you made a few mistakes? It's no reason to give up on your ideals. Somebody has to show people there's a better path. Lawful, you've definitely made a lot of mistakes. You can't go on blind trust, especially when it comes to people who've slipped up in the past, like that thief, Curl. Or evil. Your ideals were mistaken from the start. Maybe now you'll see that people are weak and vicious creatures. It's pointless to try and reform them. They're only fit to be controlled. I have nothing to say to you. It's your life, your problems, your choices. Let's go with good. Seela's expression brightens. Thank you, my friend. I needed that support. She sighs. Thank you for listening to my grumbling and for helping me get to the bottom of this. I'm not going to leave things as they stand. If I get the chance, I'll track down Janna and see if I can talk some sense into her and find out why Curl did what he did. I can't stop thinking about what Elan told me in the end. I really have become more powerful than paladins who are far more experienced and selfless than me. There's something not right about it. A servant of Imade should gain powers through dedicated personal effort. It's the only way to make sure they'll use the power for good. Our journey so far, it's all wrong. And it means I need to be 3 times as hard on myself now.
Hello. So,
Okay.
what do you reckon about everything that's come crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power?
I haven't figured it out yet. We'll see what happens next.
Watching and waiting is a good strategy. Probably. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Grey Garrison. Were we really chosen? By Iomade herself? You know, back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path to becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice that I was going to do something heroic. The lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, I'd hear the voice of the goddess, or at least her herald, you know? I'd be informed that I had been chosen for a great cause. But that's the point where my imagination always failed me. somehow, it really happened. Without all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone explaining what I had to do. Though it's clear as day, my place is here, in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm gonna need some time to wrap my head around this. Spare me an hour and I'll crawl into some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily.
I'd like to know more about you. Of course, ask anything, I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself, where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Catapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Immerday. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? A very long one. Seela looks at you cheerfully. A traveller is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging, and that just won't do. Especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with Chupacabras. We have an Arcana check here. Chupacabras? Fascinating. Can't they drink their victim's blood during combat and gain strength from it? Oh, yes. Seela's face grows serious. And they do it very quickly. They bite one victim, suck out their blood, and then strike the next victim quick as lightning. But now you've tricked me, and I've started telling you the tale. I may as well do it properly. Picture a small town in Quadria. And down in the dungeon there's 2 murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are already built for them. The rope's been bought. But sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly a paladin of Immerday appears in the doorway and offers the murderers a deal. If they go with her to fight some monsters, they'll live. If they survive, that is. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death, with a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say? So here we are, travelling through the desert, me and my friend, a priestess of Sarenrae, along with a little rat folk fellow who'd asked for her help, and the 2 cutthroats. We get the rat folk village and see their bodies lying around, all drained dry. We figured we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little rat folk described the monsters who attacked their village. That's why we went in, all brazen-like. The sun was high and the vampires couldn't attack until dusk. But we never got a chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as the wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the rat folk, and Kyra. That was the name of the priestess. And we all steeled ourselves for the fight of our lives. And just when we thought the end had come, with the chupacabras surrounding me like a pack of dogs around the bear, our rat folk friend wounded and downed, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters clenched on Kyra's shoulder, right then, when all hope was lost, the other lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. He kills the beast attacking Kyra. I'm sure you know what a turning point in a fight looks like. Well, this was it. A moment before we were lost, and a moment later we had it back under control. The chupacabras dropped dead, one by one. The little rat folk is reunited with his family, who were hiding in the basement. The priestess and I closed the eyes of that boy from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods keep his soul in its journey through the afterlife. Well, that's a good story. He could have died in disgrace on the gallows, but instead he died a hero. And I'd fancy the stunt earned him some points at his final judgment. It's smart to remember our journey doesn't end in death. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, would be hanging from a noose. And me, Kyra, and all the rat folk would be dead in that village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious. By the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's what I really wanted to say. The Chupacabras were a good starting point. What made you become a priest of Imode? Sela's gaze sharpens momentarily, and then she sighs. That's a serious question, and a good one. You should ask it of your companions, but it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solku with the other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought, I was hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solku was a city of orphans, widows and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among the victims. People there heard about new deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Imode brought a glimmer of hope to the city. But while others saw them as saviours and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armour, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time. That's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Sela pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Aesme was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll, like all the others, she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Solku. That one blow was fatal. But who was really to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker? Or the young thief named Sela? Let's go with chaotic here. Life is cruel and full of chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck. So that's how you see it. Sela looks at you with curiosity, but no hostility. I can't accept that point of view. If the story of my youth taught me anything, it's that we're all accountable for our actions. It's too easy to wave off responsibility if you use the cruelty of life as an excuse. But you were asking what brought me into the ranks of Imode's warriors. We all choose the Paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility of spirit, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and debt unpaid. The day Aesme died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized it wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been, and protect the innocence that she would no longer be able to protect. What are the principles that Paladins of Imode follow? Sela smiles. I'll tell you. I like to recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There is strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not in my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion, and I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle, and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Imode's perfection. Oh, thank you. I've learned everything I wanted to know. The fate of the League of the Cart affected you greatly. So you could say, I did what I thought was right. I tried to help a good person with their troubles. And what came of it? I'm sorry, but I won't find peace until I track down Curl and Janna. What were they thinking? Is there any way to get through to them? Or should I just admit I was terribly wrong? There's another thing that's worrying me. The way people react to your power and mine. They think that if we've been chosen by Imode, they need to pray at our feet. I'm not comfortable with the younger warriors hanging on my every word. Seela smiles sourly. I feel alone. Nobody else is going to sit with me and celebrate saving a beer cart, and I'd like to regain, if not the friendship, at least the trust of the other knights, especially those I respect and consider my friends, like Elin. Well, thank you for speaking with me, Seela. See you. And with that, I guess I'm going to end this episode here, having not spoken to Lan or any of these people, but I guess I shall do that in the next episode, otherwise this one is going to go on very long. I'm going to thank you all very much for being here. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel and the coffee supporters. It really does mean the world to me, and it helps me keep making these videos. And as always, I'll see you next time.